Hi, everyone, and welcome to Web Design 101. Some of you have found this course through my Substack, and I want to thank you for being here. Also, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any lessons. If you stumbled upon this course in another way, you can navigate to shannonmcnamara.substack.com and subscribe. Lessons drop weekly, and you'll be able to chat with other designers and me. Upon successfully completing this course, you will be able to understand the code editor's workspace, basic tools, analyze best practices for user experience, also known as UX, and user interface, known as UI, in web design, and evaluate strategies for creating responsive website designs. You'll be able to grasp the fundamental disciplines of design and web page creation and demonstrate the ability to understand and apply HTML5 to build your web pages. Additionally, you'll be proficient in using CSS style sheets to format web content and ultimately create a fully functioning responsive website. Now, here's the thing. Coding a website does not happen using only one application, and I want you to look for the one that's going to be best for you. The video shown will demonstrate using Adobe Dreamweaver. However, you can use CodePen, which offers a free and pro version, and there's also several excellent free code editors available. Some popular choices include Visual Studio Code, Notepad++, Sublime Text, Atom, and Brackets. Now, in the Substack, there are links to each of these free code editors. So navigate over there and find the one that's going to work for you. Also, I have uploaded all the practice files that you'll need to complete this course alongside me. You can download them via the link in this video or the link in the Substack lesson. I really encourage you to work on the same project that I will be showing if this is your first time using HTML and CSS. Also, as a reminder, you can access all the videos in this course along with other graphic design courses on my YouTube page at youtube.com, Shannon McNamara. So let's hop in. And we'll open up those practice files. If your practice files, all right, I'm going to, whoa, that was weird. I am going to show you what I want you to do immediately. All right. Let's say that your practice files are in your downloads folder. On either your desktop, if you are somebody who has Dropbox that you work out of, I love Dropbox. Dropbox is like my best friend because I've lost a computer in the past and I've always kept everything that I'm working on in Dropbox. Google Drive, same exact thing. All right. You should have some sort of a cloud-based solution for your files, because if you ever lose a computer, which I have, and you lose all of your files, there will be many tears, not just over your computer, but over all of your missing files. So if you use Dropbox or if you use Google Drive, these are two great things. So what I want you to do is, if you have Dropbox or Google Drive, I want you to create a folder and call it DES 248 if you do not put it on your desktop. So I'm just going to kind of create one along with you so that way you can see what I'm looking for. So make a folder, call it DES 248, and open it up. Inside of this folder, I want you to make a folder that says week 1, a folder that says week 2, a folder that says week 3, and a folder that says week 4. I also want you to make a folder that says my lawn care website. Even if you have to do it in all caps so you know that it's there. Create that folder, because you can't work out of your downloads. You just can't. It's a horrible idea. In week 1, drag that zip file, that week 1 site zip file, that your practice file, and put it in your week 1 folder. We'll deal with this tomorrow. So this is what your folders should say. And I already have done this over here. So therefore, I am going to unzip my week 1 zip and open it up, and I will see that I have an images folder with an IU logo and a school.png image. And then I have a text document that just says week 1 text. And it says, this is my cool new website, home, W3 schools, independence, contact. And some other text that we will go over. And you can leave this open. All right. So let's get into Dreamweaver. You will notice that you have 2 ways that you can look at it. If you opened it up for the first time and it's in developer mode, this is just coding, and this can be a little bit freaky. If it looks like this and you're like, this is just a blank page. What in God's name am I supposed to be doing here? Change it to standard mode. And it looks, I mean, it still can be a little bit scary, but at least it looks a little bit more like another Adobe programs or other Adobe programs that you may be more used to. And you'll notice that you have a files, a CC library, insert, and CSS designer. And then down here is that DOM panel that I was talking about. So if all of those aren't showing up in a 2-column like this, if it looks 1 column like that, just kind of drag it over until you get 2 columns. Everybody works differently. Everybody codes differently. Everybody sets up their desk space differently. So you may, find midway through this course, like, hey, you know what? It works better for me if I set up my workspace like this. Use what works best for you. I found that this works best for me. I also like to have the properties panel down here. So if that is not open, go to Window and select Properties and just kind of drag it down here, because we'll be using that Properties panel a lot. And it's just one of those things where you then don't need to write in a ton of code. You can just kind of input things in here as opposed to writing out a ton of code. All right. So does everybody have their workspace all set up the way that they would like, everybody who's here today? And have you moved your practice files into that week 1 folder so we can get started? And if you want to just watch along today and then go back and do it on your own afterwards, that's completely fine as well. All right. So first things first in Dreamweaver. You can't just willy-nilly create an HTML file. So I can't just go new HTML file and just start my website. All of my links will be broken. It will be a nightmare. It will be a disaster. I'm not even sugarcoating this. Like, the first couple of times that I got into Dreamweaver, I could not figure out why it was that everything in my website was broken when I sent it up to, the World Wide Web thinking it was perfect. And it was because I did not do the very first step that I needed to do. And the first thing that you need to do, whether you are creating a website from scratch or you are downloading student files and opening up that site, is you need to define a site. So the way you do that is you go to Site, New Site. Even if it's a site that you downloaded, it's a new site to you. So we're going to call today's site Live Session 1, just so that way it'll differentiate itself from your lawn care website. So just type in where it says site name, Live Session 1, and then right here, you're going to browse and find that file that you downloaded and you put in that week 1 folder. So that's why it's good to know where things are located. So I need to go into my Mod 4 folder, my Design 248, my week 1, and I'm going to choose the whole folder that says week 1 site. Just choose that whole folder and click choose. And it's going to put it in there. Nothing happens yet. Yes, you can. Then what I'm going to do I'm going to open up my tab for advanced settings, and under local info, I'm going to click on local info, and where it says default images folder, I'm going to click the button to browse for folder, and it should go into that week 1 site folder that I just defined. And I'm going to just select that images folder. Oh, nice. Isn't it good when you accidentally find things out? And I'm going to click choose. And after I do that, I am going to click save. And you will notice I now have, it opens up that files tab, and I have a site, and it's called Live Session 1, because that's what I just named it. Whoops. And I have an images folder, which has my images, and I have my week 1 text, which has my text box. That I'm on an Apple too. I'm also on a Mac. I'm just waiting to see if you were typing anything else. That's okay. Your local files will look different. I keep mine on Dropbox, so I have a very long file name. As long as in Live Session 1, it comes up with your images and your text. Now I have another folder. Okay. Is it this folder is a different folder up here? No. Okay, so let's do it one more time. Hold on one second. I'll do it one more time for you guys. So I'm going to manage the site. I'm going to just delete that site I just made, and I'll do it one more time. All right, so you're going to go up to site, and you're going to do new site. And you're going to name it Live Session, 1, where it says site. And then under local site folder, you're going to browse, and you're going to find where you put that week 1 site. Make sure that you've unzipped it. And you'll hit choose. Next, you're going to go to advanced settings, local info, and where it says default images folder, you're going to select images, the whole folder, not like the images in the folder, but the whole folder, and you're going to hit choose, and then you'll hit save, and that's going to come up in your files, and it should look somewhat like this. Live Session 1, images, week 1 text. So Casey and Jesse, where's the site 1? Week 1 files is showing up. Oh, because here's the thing. Mine is pulling from Dropbox, so it's adding a lot of extra information. Hold on one second. Let me stop my share. Oh, you're good? Okay, does anybody else? All right, so Thomas, is it fixed for you? No. Okay. Do you want me to stop my share and I can look at your screen and we can see if we can figure it out? Okay. Hold on one second. You can share your screen. All right. So we have, let me see. Okay, I can see. All right. I'm going to request remote control from you. Are you, there we go, site. I'm going to just manage your site for a second. All right, let me remove that. I'm going to do site, new site, Live Session 1. I'm going to browse, And is this it? It must be. So your week 1 site is right here. And you have it in your documents? Right. So I'm going to choose that. I'm going to go into advanced setting, local info. I'm going to browse for your images and choose that and then hit save. And that should do it. There we go. So now yours looks like mine. You might have grabbed a folder that was one up from there, which is fine. I'm just going to close that text document. All right. So can you stop sharing your screen so I can share my screen? All right, awesome. Let me go back to my screen. There we go. Now, Casey, are you all set? Or do you need me to look on your screen? All right, awesome, awesome. So let me hide my Zoom. I found the site I need from there. Okay, can you share your screen? Oh, you're on an iPad. Okay. Then hold on one second. I will show you that. Let me go back to my screen. So what you needed was the images. Okay. Come on, Zoom. Really? Hide. There we go. All right. What you will do is when you're in the site, let me manage the site. Let me just do it over. So you did that, you selected your folder. Under advanced settings, so you're gonna have to click that drop down, click on local info, hit the browse button and select images, and then just hit save. And let me know when you get that. And while you do that, I'm just gonna blow my nose real quick so I can make it through the whole rest of this demo. Yes, the images from my file, yes. So let me know when you select those images. All right. Then, all right, let me do it one more time. Follow along with me one more time on this one. I'm just gonna have to delete my site. Okay, so you're gonna go site, new site. And you're gonna name it live session 1 under site name. Then you need to browse and you need to select wherever you have it saved, just that week 1 site folder. Don't select anything inside the folder, just select the folder itself and hit choose. Then you need to go to advanced settings, local info, and where it says default images folder, click that browse for folder, and it's gonna open up that folder you were just in. And you're gonna select images and choose. And then you're gonna hit save. And it should look like this.
We are good to go.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Okay, so everybody has their site defined. This is exactly what you're going to have to do when we download those lawn care files. We're gonna have to define a site the same exact way. Every time that you work in a site, you're going to have to define it. So you got to kind of get, like, that's why I spend so much time making sure everybody definitely understands this part, because if we do this part wrong, the whole site is going to be messed up, and it's so much easier to catch it on day 1 than to catch it on day 20. So we want to make sure that we're doing that correctly. All right. So everybody has, yeah, exactly. Facebook started just like this. It really did. So everybody has their site defined. What we're going to do is you can either hit the new button or just go file new. And we're going to have a new HTML document, HTML5. You don't need to put anything in the title right now. We can do that ourselves, and just hit create. And it should look like this on your screen. And what you want to do, as soon as you get it like this, you always want to save your home page as index.html. So we're going to do a file, save as, and you want to make sure you're in that week 1 site, and it needs to be lowercase, all, yep, HTML create, yes. And then do file save as. It needs to be lowercase index.html. All home pages need to be named index.html with a lowercase I, or servers have trouble finding what your home page is and knowing where to start, like loading your website. So after you hit save.
I'm sorry, can you do that again?
Yes. Do file new.
Wait, to go into the index part.
Okay, so you've already made the new HTML document. It's just not saved yet, right?
No, yeah.
Okay, then you would just do file save as.
But how do you get to the part where it says, like, how you have it up now with the HTML with all the code?
Did it not pop up right here when you did a new document?
No.
Okay, that could be, is it like this?
No, I'm still on, like, it's like a gray page. It just has like the
Like
5.
this?
No. It's where I just put in like save the, like, what you just showed me.
Oh, and it's just not open.
Yeah.
Okay, is it showing index.html right here?
Where? No. What is that under?
It should be in your site. So you should have like images, index.html, and then week 1 text.
Oh, I don't have all that. I week 1 text, IU logo, and school. So
Okay, all right, let's try it one more time. Do file new.
New.
Where it says new document, HTML.
Yes.
So your screen looks like this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, hit create.
Okay.
And then do file save as.
Okay.
Index.html.
All right.
And hit save. And I'll just replace mine because I haven't done anything yet. And depending on what view you are in, Dreamweaver in standard mode, see we're in standard mode right here, has 3 different views. So live view shows you what it's going to look like in your browser. Split view shows you what it's going to look like in the browser, and then it shows the code down below. And then code view just shows you the code. So for this example, let's go into split view. So that way you guys can see what's happening live, but you can also see what's happening in the code. Are you in standard view over here? Are you in standard or are you in developer?
What you have showing right now on your screen is exactly what is showing up in my Dreamweaver.
Okay.
So I don't know how I even did that, but I created the whole new folder and it split it in half like it did on your screen.
Oh, okay. Yours just might have defaulted to split view.
Okay, that explains a lot.
Sometimes it's really different for everybody else's. Like sometimes it defaults to code, sometimes it defaults to split, sometimes it defaults to live. So we'll work in split view. Okay, so up here, like I was telling you, you have this files tab, which are all of your files that you're working in. We have CC libraries, which we're not going to worry about right now. And it might be in there. You might not have that in there. I can't remember if I dragged my CC library in there. You have insert and you have CSS designer. Let's leave it for now on this CSS designer. But we're going to not worry too much right now about the CSS. I want us to build a structure out of HTML. So I'm going to take some notes for you guys while we're doing this. HTML. HTML is the foundation of our house. All right, it is the wooden structure without any decorations. And I can't spell decorations apparently. Decorations, there we go. Okay, your CSS is the paint, the siding, the flooring, the blinds you put up even. Like that's all your decorations. So before you can put up like your paint and your siding, you need to build the foundation of your house. So that's what we are going to be really thinking about right now. And let me just open up a little diagram to show you what our foundation is going to look like. Our foundation is going to look like the box model. This is the layout we want. And if you've ever been to a website or you've taken Muse, this should kind of like make a little bit of sense to you. We want to have a header at the top, then we want to have our navigation, then we want to have some main content here, and then our footer at the bottom. So we're building a very logical website. And this is the order that we're going to put our tags in. And you'll notice these things called divs. So I have a little demo that I am going to do, and I've tried to draw this out in the past, and hold on, I'm actually going to turn my camera on for a second. But my husband thinks I'm nuts, but this is my div like demonstration. Your divs are like a food storage container system, okay? So we have our main div, which is our wrapper, all right? That is the main Tupperware container that everything is going in. So I'm gonna pop the lid off of our main wrapper div. Here's my main wrapper div. And inside, I have all of these other little divs, okay? So I take my main wrapper div, and when I close that div tag, it closes this div. But before I close that tag, and you'll notice here's an open tag right here with the bracket, down here with the backslash, that has closed it. And you'll see how it's kind of on the same hierarchy. But inside of this div, we have a header, we have a navigation, we have a sidebar, we have some main content, and we have a footer. And they are their own containers of information inside of my main wrapper container. So inside of there, I am going to put in my header. But inside of my header, I also have my navigation. So my navigation is its own container that has the links to my home page, my about page, my contact page. And I put it inside my header, and then I close my header up. So I close that tab. And I put it inside my main wrapper div. Then I have my main content. So all of my content that goes inside of my main content, I'll put it inside and I'll close the top and I'll wrap it all up in that and I'll put it inside my wrapper div. Then I might have a sidebar with some content in it. Same thing. Take the top off, I put all the content inside of my sidebar, I close it up nice and neat, and it goes into my wrapper. Last but not least, I have my footer. I put all of my content that goes in my footer, I close the top up, and I put it inside of this wrapper. Everything in here, with the exception of my header that has my navigation inside, if you can hear it, they're all on the same level. So like my footer isn't inside of like my main content and I didn't close it in there. It's just all closed into my wrapper div. And I close the top up and there we go. So this is my, these are great containers. So this is my little like explanation of how divs work and how you put together the box model and why everything needs to be like enclosed in something and you got to put the top back on or the content spills out everywhere. So this is the best way that I have found to explain how those wrappers work, which is a little bit odd. And I did this whole demo for my husband last night and he was like, you are a big weirdo, but whatever. So this is how we're going to put our page together. And I do too. I think like, you know, you tell people, well, it's a div, and they're like, what does that even mean? And as soon as I started explaining it to people, like, well, it's kind of like a Tupperware container. They were like, oh, all right. So you got your big container and you put the top on. So that's my little demo on how divs work and how we want to put together our layout. So in Dreamweaver, we're going to create this box model right here. And we could do that by, you know, typing in a whole bunch of code, and our code would eventually look like this when we were done. But I want to use this handy dandy, awesome DOM panel. And this is what I was telling you about the DOM panel, where it's going to put things in for you and it's going to write the code for you. And this is why I love the DOM panel in Dreamweaver. And I think it starts to make more sense to people when we use that. So what I want you to do is make sure that you have the DOM panel selected. If it's not showing, go to Window, DOM, and you might have assets and snippets or something, kind of like drag it in there or drag it down here so you have it selected. So let me know when everybody's on the DOM panel.
I don't know if it saved it, but I do have it pulled up.
Okay, great. Yep, then you should be good. All right, and I want you to have body selected. Here's the thing. We're not going to mess with anything in the DOM panel in this head, but we're going to start at the body, because everything that goes into our website goes into the body of our website. So you'll notice that when I select body in the DOM panel, it selects my code over here in the code panel. So it's kind of everything that I'm doing, you can watch what happens. So you have this little plus sign right here. And what we want to do is we want to add an element. So you're going to click on it. It's going to give you some options. And we need to insert a child. The reason why is the body is the parent of this div wrapper that we're going to make. So if you think of the body as being the parent, you would make a child in the family tree. Your DOM panel is basically the family tree of your website. Just another analogy for kind of getting a visual of how this works. So click Insert Child, and it's going to automatically make a div for you.
How do I get my type to come up? Like where you have the doc type HTML?
Are you on split?
Yes.
It might be dragged down here. Try to, right here, like you can see some dots, like drag that up a little. Oh, no, it's not going to do it for me. Hold on.
Yeah, it's not doing it for me.
Click on split again.
Okay. Oh,
Or click code, then split, and see if you can kind of move it around.
split.
Mine automatically went into the text, into the main box, but it didn't pull up anything on the side.
So did you get that content for new div tag goes here?
I don't have any of that.
Okay, let's try that one more time. All right. So if you if it's not showing up in split, you can do it in live or you can do it in code view. You might just need to kind of toggle between them. So
Okay.
all right, with body selected in the
Okay.
DOM, we're
I'm
gonna
good.
click the plus and insert a child, and it's
Okay.
gonna be this div.
Got it.
There's gonna be the left-hand box that says div, and then the right-hand box, I want you to click in there, and we're gonna do hashtag wrapper. And the reason why is we're naming this div our wrapper based on right here. See how it says div ID is equal to wrapper? If we put a hashtag, that gives it an ID. And we'll get more into like IDs versus class going forward. But in your code, you should see div ID is equal to wrapper. Content for new div tag goes here. And you can you can leave that content for new div tag goes right here for a minute, just so you can see what's happening in the live view, and it puts in the text up here.
Okay, I don't know what I did, but because now I have like two childs in my
Oh, okay.
yeah, I have two childs in my div, but I still didn't get the side text box even when I recreated the second one, and now they're both up in the top layer. So I'm not sure what's going on.
Okay, if you have a second one, you can just hit delete and delete it.
Okay. Man, delete. Okay, now I don't have the text box, but it says it does give me in the content for new div tag goes here,
Yep.
and it does give me a plus sign, but it's next to the div. So do I put that hashtag wrapper? Yeah, wrapper. In there.
Okay. So you're missing this part right here.
What part?
The hashtag wrapper.
Yeah,
So
but I can put it in the top. What I'm saying is I can put it in the top
yes.
part, but not on the side. So that's the only part that I'm having trouble with.
Oh, okay. If you double click, it should give you the option. If you double click to type it in the side right here.
Okay. Yep. It did it.
Okay. So you can hit so name it hashtag wrapper and just hit enter, and it'll fix it over here for you.
Okay. See, I didn't know that I had to double click on it.
Yep. No problem.
Okay, that works.
Okay, so now we've created this whole div wrapper. So everything that we put in our website is going to go inside of this wrapper, which means that all of these items, whoops, I thought I could select that. All of these items are children inside of our div. So our div is a child of body, and then it has its own family. So the body is like the grandparents of all of the things that are going to go into the div. So the first thing we want to do, because we want to work in a logical order, is we want to make our header. So I'm going to make sure that I have div wrapper selected one more time. I'm going to hit plus. I'm going to insert a child one more time. And it's going to say div, but I don't want it to be called div. So I'm going to start typing. I want it to be called header, and you'll notice how it gives you hints. So once you start typing header, you can either select it, or you can just type the whole thing out. So I'm going to type it in header, and I'm going to hit enter or select off. And you'll notice it says new content for new header tag goes here. And that is inside of my div. And it's kind of like,
so we select insert child first.
yes. When you have div selected, you'll click on the little plus and do insert child.
Okay, and then put in header.
Yep. So everybody let me know when you get that done.
Done.
All right, and Jesse, are you good? I don't know if he had said he was going to be back, so I'll assume he's going to catch up. Okay, so then inside of my header, and people do this different ways. I like to keep my navigation inside of my header. So if I want it inside of my header, what do I insert?
A child.
A child, that's right, exactly. So I'm going to hit insert child with header selected. And it's always going to default to div. Mm-hmm. Don't worry about that. It's just the thing that Dreamweaver does. So I'm going to start to type in, I'm going to type in nav, because nav stands for navigation. Okay. Jesse, what did you miss?
I think you missed the header.
Okay, so you would have, just a quick recap, you would have, oh, you're good. Oh, okay. All right. So we have a header with some navigation. Well, it's not really navigation yet. We haven't written any code for it. But we have a header and we have a nav tag. What I want you to do, because it might make it a little bit easier for you, is close up your header. See how it has that little tab to close it up? Just close up your header for a minute, just so that way you don't accidentally paste something inside of the header, because we want to make things after the header. So let's go look and see what's next. So I've already made my header. I've already made my navigation. What am I going to create next?
Sidebar.
Right, my sidebar. And you'll notice in the code that that's called aside. Why? I don't know. It's because somebody somewhere said it was going to be. So this time though, I'm not making a child. And the reason why is my header is not a parent to my sidebar. They're siblings. So what I'm going to say is insert after with my header selected. And you'll notice it's on the same hierarchy because they're both children of my div, but they're siblings of each other. And I'm going to start to type in aside, and I'll hit enter. And now I have my content area for my sidebar. So let me know when you've made your aside section.
Okay. I did it.
Nope, your side doesn't have a navigation. You only have one navigation on your page. So we're going to keep it in our header area just for simplicity, basically. Next step, I have my main content area. And there's two ways that you can name this. Some people name it section. Other people name it main. I choose to name it main because we also call it the main content area. And to me, it just makes the most sense to call it that way. Just know that you might see it in life both ways. So if this is a sibling and I want it to come after my aside section, what do I click to add it after that?
Insert after.
Right, exactly. And I'm just going to type in main. And there I go. I have my main section. So we're almost done here. We only have one left. And it's our footer. So I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to say insert after, and I'm going to type in footer, and there we go. And we have literally just created all of the structure for our website. Like we created the frame, you know, like the wooden frame of our house in about 5 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. So as you can see, way easier than if we sat here and we typed all this code in.
Yeah, way easier.
All right. So it should look like, yours should look like my screen. So you should have your body, and if you close up the body, everything should close up with it. Then you should have a div. And if you close up the div, everything should close up inside of it, because these are your Tupperware containers.
Yes.
And you have your header. And if you close that up, the navigation should close inside of it. And then you have your aside, your main, and your footer. And if these two are in a different order, that's okay.
Wow.
We have all of this random text. This is the one thing I don't like about the DOM panel, is every time you make something in the DOM panel, it'll put in like content for new aside tag goes here. And I'm like, thanks, Dreamweaver. And if you forget to delete it, it will leave it on your website. So we're gonna now add in our content. And this is where that text file that I sent you comes in. So first thing I want to deal with is the title. So this is my cool new website. So I want you to copy that line of text. And this one you're going to need the code for, to be in the code. So if you're just in live view, you're going to need to either go to code view or you're going to need to go to split view for this. Because way up here where it says title and it says untitled document, I want you to paste that line of text in. This is my cool new website. And you might need to hit this refresh, which is fine.
Where's the refresh?
Sometimes mine makes me refresh. It doesn't happen to everybody's.
Where do you do that?
It would show up in your properties panel if
Okay.
it's making you refresh it.
Okay, it is there.
Are we putting the new text inside the header?
You're putting it in the head tag, in the title tag. So it should say doc type HTML, head, meta character set, UTF-8, and then line 5 should say title, and it should have said untitled document, and in between those brackets, so in between your opening title tag and your closing title tag, you want to paste in, this is my cool new website, and you'll notice down here in properties, if you have title selected, you can also paste it right in there.
Okay.
So kind of the properties gives you kind of two places where you can do things. That's why I like to leave it open. So does everybody have that new title of their page in?
Yes.
Okay. What I want you to do is I want you to save it real quick. So you can go to File, Save.
Okay.
And either go to File, Real-Time Preview, or there's a little icon for real-time preview right here. Whatever browser you normally use, like I normally use Chrome, I want you to real-time preview either in Safari, Firefox, Chrome, whatever it is that you normally use, and click on that browser and we can look. And mine's gonna say not found. Really? Oh.
Mine works though.
Mine is going to not work because it's me and I'm trying to show a demo.
Mine worked though.
All right, that's good. At
So you
least
did it
it's
right.
Yeah, sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes weird things happens with my Dreamweaver. And that's both a blessing and a curse for me.
Yeah.
It's a blessing because I like you guys to see that weird things sometimes happen in Dreamweaver. It's a curse because I'll be doing a demo and I'm like, it makes zero sense that this is happening right now. Yours said save all the files. Yes, you definitely need to save the files before you preview it.
Mine, the linking it shows is all the comments for the hashtag.
Yep, and that's exactly how it's supposed to look.
Okay. And that was in Google.
Okay, awesome. Let me see if maybe it'll like me if I use Safari. File not found. All right, that whatever.
It does not like you today.
It doesn't like me today. There will be many times where you will laugh because Dreamweaver normally hates me. All right. So the next thing on our list is going to be creating our navigation. And navigation is a little bit weird, the way you code it. It's not just typing in the names of the links and making them links. Unfortunately, it does not work that way. So what we're going to do is down in our DOM panel, we're going to select the nav, which is inside of your header.
Okay.
And this is a good time actually to delete that content for new nav goes here. There's two ways that you can delete that. You can either go into this code view in between the nav opening and closing tags and you can just hit delete, or you can go up here and double click until this box has an orange border around it and just hit delete. And it'll delete it, and then it'll delete it down here too. And it's gonna add in some weird code. You can just leave that, or you can delete it. So you can do the same thing for the div wrapper one, which is like probably all the way down at the bottom. It's probably line 16. And it'll say content for new div tag goes here. You can just delete it.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to go back into our DOM panel, and you're going to go back to what we were doing, which is selecting nav. And when you are creating navigation, and I'm going to pull up my text document real quick. Navigation. Navigation is made with an unordered list, also known as UL. And then all the links are list items, known as LI. That is how we create navigation. So what you want to do is you are going to click on with nav selected, you're going to click on insert the plus sign, insert a child, because we want our navigation to go inside of that nav container. And I want you to type in where it says div UL and hit enter. And because it's the DOM panel, it adds in our first list item, and up here, it shows it as a bullet point, which is weird, but a bullet point is an unordered list. If I was to make an ordered list, I would use the tag OL. And I can show you real quick on my screen. If I select UL in my DOM panel and I go over here, it's an unordered list. If I change it to 1, 2 in my properties, it changes it to an order list and it makes it a number 1. But that's not what we want to do. But I just wanted to kind of show you like the difference between the two types of lists.
Okay.
So you have this list item. Now up here in either split view or live view, I want you to double click until you get that orange box. And I want you to type in home, then hit enter, and it's going to give you another list item. Then you're going to type in W3 schools, hit enter. You're going to type in Independence, hit enter, and you're going to type in contact. And don't hit enter at the end of contact. You can just kind of click off. Now, whoops.
You double click.
Hold on. Something went wrong on my end.
Okay. Did you click until you got to the orange border? To get the orange box, what you do is, see, when you select something, it has a blue box around it. So you got to kind of click in there until it becomes orange. All right, yeah. It's one of those things, like if you're used to Muse, like where you had to do the click, 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 click in Muse, it's kind of the same thing. So once you have that orange box, you can hit enter and it will add in the other list items. So, you can type in home, hit enter, type in W3 schools, hit enter, type in independence, hit enter, and then type in contact. If you accidentally hit enter after contact, don't worry. You can just select that, whoops, there we go.
No, I copied it and pasted it, so I didn't do that, and then I just hit entered after each one. So I'm good.
Does it show a bullet point for each one?
Let me double check and I can tell you. Yes, it does.
Okay, then you're good. Yep. So you'll notice when we did that, we have 4 bullet points here, but it also shows under our UL 4 list items. So it corresponds. So we have a home, we have a W3 schools, we have an independence, and we have a contact, which is the navigation for our site. But it's not navigation yet. It's just words at this point. We actually need to create links to get it to be navigation. So the way we're going to do that is on your first one, there's 2 ways you can do it. You can select your first list item either up here in the live panel by just clicking on it, or you can select it in your DOM panel. Sometimes it's easier to see what you're doing if you select it in the DOM panel, I find. And you want to double click again until you get that orange bar and select the whole word home. And it's going to open up like a B, an I, and a link. So let me know when you have it selected and you get these 3 options.
I'm there.
Okay.
I'm there.
Okay. So I want you to click on the hyperlink one, which is the 3rd one. And it's going to say enter link. But there's also a browse for file right there. So I want you to click browse for file. And it's going to open up your site. And we're going to select index.html because that's our home page. So anytime anybody clicks on home, we want them to bring us back to that index page. So you're going to select index and then just hit open. And you'll notice it gives it an underline.
I have 2. Should I get rid of one?
What do you mean you have 2?
It says index dot. Oh, okay. I know.
Is one of them your text?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
I know what happened.
If it's not showing those 3 things, you need to click until you get the orange box, and then you have to select the whole word. And then those 3 things should come up. Jesse. Okay, awesome. Next one I want you to do is in your browser, go to w3schools.com and just kind of open up that website. Oh, well, that's not right. 3 schools. There we go. And just have that website open because we're going to copy and paste the URL. I can actually, let me actually paste that into the chat for you guys. That might make it a little bit easier. There we go. So that is, oh, none of my quick keys are working right now. That's so bizarre. So anyways, that is the URL that you want. So copy that URL and we're going to go into Dreamweaver again. And we're going to add a link again to this W3 Schools, but this time we're not going to browse for a file. So you're going to click until you get the orange box again, select W3 Schools, hyperlink, and see where it says enter link and there's a box there?
Paste it.
Paste it right in and then hit enter.
Bam. Nice.
There it is. And there's, oh, good Lord. All right. Look at my properties. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. It's like, yeah, it's like everything's blinking. I'm just going to restart this real quick. Hold on 1 second. Because it's going to drive me bananas. I restarted my whole machine too before we did the live session, but Dreamweaver's like, you are running Chrome, you're running me, you're running Zoom. I hate your face.
I know.
It's a good time. All right, so let me get back in here. Maybe it'll work this time. All right, there we go. List item. All right.
Okay. For me, I saw this done. I was seeing this done with other students while I was in my previous classes, and I was talking to, I think, believe it or not, I think Christy was the one teaching students how to use Dreamweaver, because we were talking about Dreamweaver when I was taking my Muse class. And when I found out that I had to start coding, I started freaking out, and that was only like 2 months ago.
So do you feel a little bit better after today?
I'm like confused as hell.
Don't worry, it's okay to be confused because this is your first time in it. So it's like, this is weird. Like it is. Like the first time you get in it, it's like, this is really weird. Like
yeah, that's exactly how I'm feeling, because it's almost like one of those codes like 000111110.
Yes, it is. It is. So that's okay. All right. So with W3 Schools selected, either in your DOM panel or up here, see how my properties panel works now? Yay, little things. What you want to do is you'll see that it says your link is, W3 Schools, and then right over here it says target, and there's a drop down. What I want you to do is click on the drop down and change it to blank. And you'll notice it adds that plus target blank right there. And there is a reason why I want you to do that.
Be on, I'm sorry, W3 Schools.
Yep, W3 Schools and then target blank.
Mine is like faded out.
Even when you click on the drop down, do you have W3 Schools selected up here?
Yeah. W3 Schools selected, and it's faded out.
Okay, in the DOM panel, open up this list item and select the A and then try it.
Okay.
And does it let you?
What I have to put in there?
You just select the blank.
It's still like faded out for me. It's weird.
And it didn't add the code in here where it says target blank?
No.
Okay, you can manually type in, and I'll copy and paste. I'm going to copy this into the chat for you. Hold on 1 second.
You don't have to do that because I'm on my iPad.
Oh, okay.
So,
Right.
Where do I go?
What you'll type in is, all right, so in line, it should be line 14 for you.
Okay.
I'm
there.
Oh, and now mine's doing it, of course. Why wouldn't it?
You might have to take a look at mine, because mine's not in line 14, and everything else is like, I think is messed up too.
So your link for W3 Schools is not line 14. What line is it?
I think it that is line. Okay, it is line 14. But there's nothing. But it is line 14. My bad. It is line 14.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Then we're good. All right. So you'll notice it says list item, like LI, and then it gives you an A, href. A stands for link.
Mhm.
That's another one of those things like with coding. It's like, why does A stand for link? I have no idea. Some weird person somewhere thought that that was a great idea. And it says href is equal to, and then you got your URL, and then you've got like the quotes at the end.
Yeah.
What you want to do is like click right where the quotes are and hit space. And then type in the word target. And then type an equal sign.
Mhm.
And then you're going to type a quote. So I'm kind of selecting each thing that you need to type.
Do I select blank parent self top new?
And then you would type in underscore blank and then another quote. And then you should have your closing bracket right after that. So it should look like my screen, code-wise.
Okay, well, mine still has the A next to it. And it wasn't letting me put in target or any of that.
In the code?
Yeah, it wasn't letting me type it in for some reason.
I'll have to take a look at yours after. Because that's,
Okay.
yeah.
So what is it supposed to do?
All right, so what this does, so let me save this real quick, and let me see if it's going to let me preview after I restarted this. There we go. All right. What this does is it opens up this link because this link is sending me outside of my website. It's sending me to the W3 Schools website. And I don't want people to completely navigate away from my website. So when I add in that code, it opens it up in a new tab instead of having me navigate away from my entire website. See what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. So that's a really good tool to use when you are like adding in social media icons to your website, you know, to send people to your Facebook page or to your Instagram. You don't want them to 100% navigate away because then they would have to sit there on the back with the back browser and try to get back to your website. You always want to send them to a new tab so your website stays open. But you only do that with external websites. Like if you have pages, like a contact page would be right within my website, you want to make, you know, you definitely want to keep them in your website that way. It's only when it's external pages.
Okay.
All right. So I'm not going to worry about the independence one right now, and I'm not going to worry about contact. We have 2 links in there for our navigation because
why there's different colors?
Because I clicked on one, so there it's just showing that I've visited it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I had to refresh mine for it to work.
Oh, okay. All right. So next one I'm going to do is I'm going to go over into my text, and I'm going to say I am going to copy, this is the main area of my website. And you can probably guess where I'm probably going to put that text in the main area of my website. So in my DOM,
Can you hold on?
we might go a little bit late today, but I just want to make sure we get through this practice file today because I think it's going to help you guys tomorrow. So I'm going to select my main in my DOM, and I want to insert a child because, again, thinking back to those containers, this information I'm putting into the container of my main area. So I'm going to insert a child, and where it says div, I want to type in H1. H1 is a large headline. And I'm just going to hit enter. There we go. And it's going to put in this huge headline that says, this is the content for layout H1. Like, boom, big and bold. So up here in this live area, I'm going to double click again until I get that orange bar. I'm going to select all that text and I'm going to copy in this is a main area of my website and just kind of click off.
Okay. Got it.
All right, but you'll notice I have some other text here, some lorem ipsum text, which is known as dummy text. I'm going to copy that. So I'm just going to copy that.
Paragraph?
Yeah, the whole paragraph right out of my text. And right with H1 still selected, I want to put something after it, but it's not going to be a child. So I'm going to do an insert after. Okay. And it's going to give me that div. I'm just going to type the letter P. P stands for paragraph.
After I made my H1, it gave me a BR.
Did you hit enter?
Yes.
Okay, BR stands for break. So it manually put in the code for a break there. So you can, if you have that BR like this, you can just delete it. BR stands for break. So I'm going to do insert after again in paragraph, just back to where we were. And you'll notice right in here, I get this is the content for layout P tag. I'm going to double click and I'm going to paste in that paragraph of text. But I still have this content for new main tag goes here that auto populated when I created my main tag. So again, I can either click up here and delete it, or I can just delete it down in my code. I want to get rid of that.
Matter where you delete it?
It doesn't matter where you delete it.
So, what one are we deleting?
The content for new main tag goes here.
Okay.
So I have my whole main area now. I've got a headline and I've got my paragraph of text.
It's not letting me delete it.
Yes, you can definitely put that there. Double click until you get the orange bar.
Okay, and
then delete it. Yep, and then just hit delete.
Got it.
All right, so we're going to add in the aside text while we're deleting. We might as well, why don't we delete all of these that are left? So we've got content for new header tag goes here. Double click till you get the orange and delete it. We've got content for new aside text goes here. Double click and delete it. Let's just get rid of all this crap and put on our page. And content for new footer tag goes here. So same thing. We're just going to delete all our weirdo text that it put in.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to go back into my little text file, and it's like, and I'm going to do the same thing again. This is my sidebar. I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to click on aside. And if I want to make an H1 tag,
we have to do the, aside that's in the
DOM.
You do the whole thing. This is my sidebar and aside.
Nope. Just grab the first one that says this is my sidebar aside. The first line.
Yeah, but you want aside in there too.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. So I'm going to make another headline. So I'm going to click in the DOM under aside, and I want to insert a child because again, I'm going to put it inside that container. However, this time my headline is going to be H2. Not H1. And there's a reason behind that. You should only have one H1 tag per page.
Okay. Because
somebody somewhere decided you should only have one main headline on every single web page. I don't know who made that decision, but somebody somewhere made that decision. So again, after I make that H2, and it's going to put up here, this is my content for layout H2. I'm going to double click till I get that orange box. I'm going to select it. And I'm going to paste my new text in that says, this is my sidebar aside. And then I'll just click off.
Okay, wait. H2. It came up with this blue thing.
Yep, double click till you get orange.
not turning orange at all.
In the live?
Oh, there it is.
Okay.
And then what do I put?
And then you just select it and copy and paste in that this is my sidebar aside.
Oh no, it's giving me a link. Am I in the right spot?
You should be. You can also, down here in the code, it should be line 21. You can select and paste it in there as well, if you're having trouble kind of pasting it into the live view.
Before or after it says aside?
Oh, you already have this is my sidebar aside?
No, before it just says aside on line 21.
You don't have H2 on line 21?
H2 is on line 22.
That's okay. All right, so in between the two H2 tags, like the opening tag and then the closing tag, you can select that dummy text that it put in, and you can paste it in there.
Got it.
Yep, that's why there's a couple of different ways you can do things in Dreamweaver, which is good. All right, so we're going
on line 25.
That's okay. It depends on how you took out the dummy code from before, so we might be a little bit different at this point.
I got it.
All right, so next we're going to go, and we are going to copy the next 2 or 3 paragraphs. It says this aside area or the sidebar all the way through to the lines above. So this whole section right here, we're going to copy and paste in. And I'm going to show you how to kind of break up some code in the code this way. So with H2 in your DOM, right here, selected, I want you to do insert after and put P for paragraph and hit enter. And it's gonna give you this is the content for layout P tag. And it's also in the code gonna say, this is the content for layout P tag. This time I want you to edit it in the code. So I'm gonna select, this is the content for layout P tag. I'm gonna paste in my new code in there. And you'll notice, see how I pasted it in? And it shows that this is on its own line, then there's a return, and then this is on its own line. But up here, it's all one paragraph. It's not putting in the returns.
Yeah.
That's because I actually have to add in code to do a return on a website. And there's 2 different ways to do this. So I want to show you guys both ways. So you should have your opening P tag right here, right before this aside area, and then a closing P tag after then the lines above, basically. Because everything is right now within one paragraph. But I'm going to start to break things up in that paragraph. So right in between the aside area or the sidebar is a good area to place blog posts, Twitter feeds, or other non-essential information on the page. And then the line that says, I put a tag of BR on my page to add a line break. I want you to literally put your cursor after the word page and hit enter. And then we're going to manually type in the code for a break, which is bracket, BR, bracket. And then watch what happens up here. It's going to put that, I put a tag, and it's going to move that to the next line.
So where am I supposed to be at this point?
Got it.
In your aside section here, so you have your paragraph that says the aside area or the sidebar is a good place to place blogs. After the word page of that first sentence, I want you to hit enter in the code and put in this tag of BR. So inside of a bracket, BR, and then close the bracket. And you'll notice in the DOM, it added in a BR for a text break there. So everybody let me know when you're done with that.
I'm good.
Okay. Has everybody typed in that BR?
Yes.
All right. The next line says, I put a tag of BR on my page, blah, 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 to add in a line break. After the word break, I want you to end this paragraph that we started right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in a bracket, type in a backslash, the letter P, and then close that bracket. Right after the word break.
Hold on, I'm trying to find it.
The bracket, the opening bracket is next to the letter M, and then the closing bracket is next to it. And then the backslash is next to that.
Hold on 1 second. Where are you?
I'm on, I put a tag of BR in my page. At the end of the word break, I put in the ending of that paragraph.
But mine doesn't say in my page to add in a line break. It just says I put in a tag of BR in my page.
Oh, all right. Well, whatever the end of the sentence is fine.
Oh, okay. That's where I was confused. So just a dot and that's all together, right?
Yep. It's bracket, backslash P, and then close the bracket.
All right, got it. Sorry.
Then you should have another, like a line space between, for this example, I've added a P tag to make it look like a new paragraph. Notice how the spacing is different.
Yeah.
And you'll notice at the end, we still have that closing paragraph tag that we never dealt with when we closed the paragraph, because we kind of moved the closing of the paragraph up here, and we left in this random closed paragraph, but we don't have an opening paragraph. So that would trigger an error in our code. So we need to add in on this blank line right here, an opening paragraph. So if I close a paragraph with a backslash, how would I type out an opening paragraph? And I have it highlighted as a clue.
Open bracket, paragraph, or the P, and then close bracket.
Right, exactly. So I'm going to type open paragraph or open bracket, P, close that bracket, and then I have a whole new paragraph here. So I have my paragraph with my break inside of it, and then I have my new paragraph below. So I've broken up those lines in my sidebar in two different ways. One with just a break, and you'll notice it just did a quick return to the next line. However, a new paragraph gives you some space between the paragraph in front of it. Oh, no problem, Jesse.
After class, I might need to make sure that I understand it. So if you have time after class just to look over it, that would be great.
Yep, that's fine. All right, so now we just have one more line that we need to put in.
Okay.
And we'll, because we're running late, we'll put in the CSS tomorrow, right at the beginning of class, and then we will look at the files that we need to download for week 1 after we put in the CSS. Okay. So Not a problem. All right. So then we're going to copy and paste in. This is my footer 2017, your name here. Type in your name. DES Web Design Principle. So I'm going to copy that whole line. And I'm going to navigate down to my footer in my DOM. And same thing. I need to put that content inside of my footer container. So I'm going to insert a child, and I want it to be a P for paragraph. And it's going to say this is the content for layout P tag again. So either up here in the live area or down here, I can paste in that, that line.
Okay.
And then just hit save. And now you should be able to preview your whole page. And you can see all your content that you put in.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll notice that we don't have any formatting at this point, which is okay. So tomorrow, when we add in our CSS, it's going to basically change our, it's going to add some formatting to our page, and it's going to look like something. So I'm going to show you what we're going to have it look like tomorrow. Tomorrow, let me do a preview so you can see. When we add in our CSS, it's going to do this. So I'll have some color. I'll move my sidebar up to the side like a sidebar should be. And my navigation isn't going to look like points anymore. It's going to look like actual navigation. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. And that's all using the CSS, which is the equivalent of putting the paint, the siding, and the flooring and everything into our house, which we just built the whole structure for. So pretty cool how it all starts to come together. From this to being something like this, which we will do tomorrow. All right, so does anybody else need me to look at their, I'm just gonna stop the recording, and Thomas, I can look at yours. Casey, did you want me to look at yours, or do you, oh, you're on your iPad. But if you do want me to look at yours, Casey, you can take a screenshot and you can send me it so I can see.
Okay. I think I'm okay.
All right, great. All right, so
for help to do the assignment, what time is good for you?
It really depends on the day.
Okay.
So just email me and I can always try to set up a time with you.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, awesome.
Right.
So I'm just going to end the recording, and then Thomas, I'll look at your screen. All right, so thank you everybody who's watching the recording. Tomorrow we're going to go over some CSS, and if I don't get tomorrow to all of the things that I am trying to code for you for our assignment at the end of our live session, I will go back in and I will make another video for everyone that shows you exactly what you're going to need to do. So don't worry about that tomorrow. I will definitely make a video on my own and just put it up there for you, showing you step by step how to code this assignment. So I don't want people to freak out if we don't get to everything tomorrow. So don't worry. So right. I'm going to just end the recording, and then I will be back in to just talk to you guys. Hold on one second.
All right. Bye.